And we're starting off today with Chelsea's trip to Newcastle and a red card that was shown to Nicolas Jackson.
Foul, foul, foul. Yellow. Keeper's coming a long way. Just yellow. Yellow. Catches him with the arm. No clenched fist or big swing.
Just checking possible serious foul play. So he looks at him there. There is an arm. Just place at real speed, please. Give me a wider angle, real speed first.
Sure.
Give me another angle, closer.
Closer.
So now, if you look at this now, so he's running at speed. He's looked at him, and then he leads with the elbow into the face. Okay, with force. There's no swing, but he doesn't have to swing. He just goes straight into them in terms of that.
There's not a secondary movement either.
For me, he's leading with the arm at pace,
Yeah.
and just looks at him and into him in face. For me, this is excessive force into the face.
He looks at the player first.
Looks at the player first, doesn't he? Yeah. There.
Yeah.
And it hits him clean on the face as well. I recommend on-field review for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we need to see where the contact is?
Yeah, just give me another angle from the other side.
From
the other side, from this
from
side,
the
you
other
can see the
side.
face.
I don't have a reverse angle looking at it from that side, basically.
Give me the low behind what you gave me last time from the broadcast angle. This one, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So here, is that straight into the face? He looks at him. Swings into him. John.
Yes.
John, I'm going to recommend an on-field review for a possible red card by Nicolas Jackson.
Okay.
Let me know when you get the screen.
So what do you want to start?
So, John, I'm going to show you the angle where he looks at him first. The player, Jackson, looks at Botman.
Go away.
He leads with the arm. He's running at speed. He makes clear contact on the face of the defender.
Yeah, so I can see that angle.
I'll give you a wide angle.
Right,
I'll give you a wide angle just for the speed in terms of the contacts as well.
Jacob, on! Yeah, show me speed, because he leads with the arm, but there's not a lot of speed from that angle.
But there's force into the arm, into the face of the player.
So we're saying that's more a violent act than just leading with the arm reckless?
Yeah, there's no intention to play the ball. He just looks at the player all the time, and then he leads with the arm, with force, and catches him in the face.
On the tight picture.
Yeah, back to the tight angle, please.
Sure, John, this angle here.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it again. Okay, I'm going to send off Nicolas Jackson.
He's right here, mate, right here.
Not.
Go away.
Red.
Right, Howard, I don't think too many complaints about turning the yellow into a red. I presume you agree. But what I'm interested in is, in terms of Jackson looking where he's about to place his arm, how much do you take that into consideration? How much do officials when they're looking at what to dish out?
Yeah, hi Michael. Yeah, firstly I want to say we thought this was a really good intervention by VAR to recommend a review for a red card for Nicolas Jackson. You're right, they do talk about that, don't they? The AVAR talk about the fact that Jackson's looking at Botman. Of course, when players are competing for aerial balls, some contact will happen. And sometimes accidental contact can happen when a player's are jumping and arms are flailing. The important, I think, point around Jackson looking at Botman is that it tells us that he's focusing on Botman's position. So when then the arm gets thrust into the side of the face of Botman, it's really difficult to say that's an accident. And with this one, he's not jumping up towards the ball, he's jumping into Botman with that leading arm, having known where Botman was because he's looked at him a couple of times. And then there's real force because of that dynamic of him moving into Botman with that leading arm. You see Botman's head go backwards on the contact. So serious foul play needs excessive force or brutality. We think that exists in this situation, a dangerous position for Botman to be in, and therefore we think the red card is the right outcome and a good rectification of the incorrectly awarded yellow card.
OK, we move on to Mings, Tyrone Mings this season, or this same weekend. He doesn't look. A similar incident, an arm into the face, but he doesn't look. He knows where his man is. He's almost protecting with his leg and his arm. But what do you think the difference is? Because there was no card shown here.
Yeah, and I suspected that comparisons would be made because in this situation, there's an arm making contact with the head, like we saw in the previous one. In this one, Alex Scott from Bournemouth moves in from behind Mings. Mings has got possession of the ball, and he's aware, of course, that there's somebody behind him, and he steps across, the arm comes up. We think this is an action that's more akin to protecting space as opposed to looking at the player, throwing an arm towards the player. You don't have to look at a player, by the way, to get sent off. Just throwing that arm is enough. But on this one, when you watch this at full speed, the arm comes up at full speed. It doesn't actually really get thrust back towards the player. It's sort of like up there, protecting that space, we think. And only Mings will truly know what was in his mind. But dealing with the physical evidence that's presented from this action, we think that this is an action whereby he's put his arm up to protect space. It might split opinion, but in our opinion, we think this is more aligned to that and therefore not really truly comparable to the one with Jackson, where he sees the opponent is looking at him and he thrusts the arm into him as he moves in at speed. So quite different, albeit we understand there was a serious injury here, which is obviously regrettable.
OK, for our next clip, let's head back to match week 34 and another red card, this one given to Bournemouth's Evanilson against Manchester United.
Evanilson does not play the ball. I do not see the point of contact.
I don't think it's studs.
Oh, sorry, I'm doing the subs.
The on-field decision's a yellow card for reckless. I think it catches him halfway up, but it's with the side of his foot, not studs.
Right.
Just checking possible serious foul play. OK, freeze that there. We've got contact from 2 feet. Contact with 2 feet. One is on the knee but glancing. Just freeze it on the point of contact there. OK, now I want to see if the speed and intensity. See if he slips. He doesn't slip. Sure. He decides wide to go angle. Into the tackle like that. Do a wide angle. There's no real force in it. It's just I just do not like the way he's gone into that tackle. He chooses to go in with 2 feet and one of them is knee high and the other one catches him above the ankle.
And it is.
I think it's serious foul play.
Both of them are off the ground. That's off the ground and that's high.
Have you got a different angle for?
Does that catch him on the inside of the knee?
Angle here.
Where does it catch him?
Possibly.
Does it catch him?
Just do the other angle.
From which one? The type? This one?
Yeah, it's just a really awkward type. Just roll it through from that angle. He chooses to go into the challenge like that.
It's 2 feet off the ground.
It's 2 feet off the ground and he lunges in.
Yeah.
For me, that endangers the safety of the opponent.
Yep.
Banksy, I'm going to recommend an on-field review for potential serious foul play. Let me know when you get to the screen. So we're going to show real speed first. So show the best angle.
Which one do you want for real speed? Do you want
yeah, the wide one there. Yeah.
One?
No, the other one that's
this
square
one?
on.
Yeah.
Just roll it through in the loop.
For the tight angle, which one do you want?
The same similar angle.
Screen, John.
Okay.
Banksy, we're going to show it you real speed first. The Bournemouth player chooses to go into the challenge like this. There is speed there, as you can see, and then I'm going to show you the point of contact and the slow-mo loop.
Sure.
Yeah, please do.
So you've got 1 foot is above the ankle, the other one is on the knee, but is only glancing contact, and then that's the slow-mo loop in terms of how both legs catch the opponent. In my opinion, it endangers the safety of the opponent, that challenge.
I totally agree. So it's number 9. Red card, serious foul play.
Red card, serious foul play.
OK, I think it's important to highlight that after appeal, that was rescinded, that red card. First of all, do you agree with the red card changing and Evanilson being able to play in the next game?
No, we thought the yellow card that was shown on the field should have stood.
Right.
We don't think this is one that the VAR should have got involved in. We think it was a misread by the VAR to recommend a review. There's an element of recklessness in the way that Evanilson goes into the challenge. He goes in at quite a bit of pace, and you do end up with some contact from the studs on Mazraoui, but we think it should have stayed at a yellow card, and the red card was incorrect.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at it. I'll try to do it in slow motion here. And we can quite clearly see there's a slip there, isn't there? Let's just take it back a little bit as well. And I think the biggest surprise is that you hear VAR actually asking the question, saying, does he slip? And then says no, but he quite clearly he does. And I suppose if he had seen the slip, then he probably would have gone yellow card, I presume.
Yeah, I think he looks at that aspect of it, Michael. You're right, you hear that. But I think he sees that and sees it as all part of the way that Evanilson goes into that challenge. You actually hear him say, he chooses to go in like that. I think he sees him coming in at pace, and that sort of like that motion as his foot goes across the top of the turf is part of the way he enters the challenge, and therefore not truly a slip, if you like, in the eyes of the VAR. I think most people see that a different way. They see that as contributing to the way that the final contact happens, and that if that slip hadn't happened, then the final contact wouldn't have happened in the way that it did. Even then, when that happens and Evanilson ends up on his back, if you like, there's not so much force going through his left foot into the opponent. He kind of even tries to mitigate it, I think, by pulling back a little bit. It's a robust challenge. He goes in with pace. That's why we think yellow's okay. It's reckless, and that means there's some danger presented to the opponent, but not the excessive force or brutality that you'd need for this to be a red card offence. So, an incorrect intervention, unfortunately, and one that we obviously take all the learning from, look at that important aspect of the slip, and we think on balance that should have stayed as a yellow card.
OK.